Alright guys, so we filled the engine bay with a bit of debris. It's moving! Great! This is a lot after all. Let's get this show on the road. Now it's time to grab a perforator and start drilling. The engine runs quietly with zero vibration. You literally can't hear it. The higher the hill, the lower the stance. Hey there, fellows. Alright, so today we continue experimenting with concrete, which is usually tons of fun. So as you can see, I've made it to a construction site. This is where we're building our dream garage, and it just so happens that today they're working with concrete. Which is a great excuse for us to do some concrete work of our own. So here's the plan. We'll start by popping the hood. What do we got in here? There's a ton of free space in here, surrounding the engine. And yeah, you guessed it. First off, I should probably seal off the engine bay somehow, so that nothing escapes. And basically just fill it up with concrete. And after that we start the motor and go for a drive. If we get lucky, of course. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. Let's do this. Cementing the engine bay. Will the car start? Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Alright guys, so we filled the engine bay with a bit of debris, got as much as we could under there, so that the concrete doesn't escape the engine bay. Now it's time to bring in the cement truck and have it shoot its load in there. This is all great and everything, but we do have a slight problem. The thing is that it wouldn't hurt if the wiring gets through this relatively unscathed. As you might imagine, we won't be able to access anything in here. We'll figure it out. Okay, so now we're done. It's all looking pretty good. We've got a nice and even amount of concrete in there. I don't see any dips or anything. It's a good thing we sealed off the bay from underneath. The car sank all the way down to the ground, and the suspension isn't compressing any more than it should. After all, we did put some debris right underneath the subframe. All that's left now is to wait for about a week until it all dries. And after that, we try getting the engine to run. That's all the news I have for you so far. Alright fellas, we seem to be good to go. Our lattice engine bay is thoroughly cemented. It has been standing here for a week, and I'm sure the concrete is stiff as. Okay, so our Lada is ready for action. Let me just open the lid. Let's have a look. Oh wow, we really outdid ourselves here. We've got a loose wire over here, but that's the ground, so no worries there. We should probably free up the intake. Okay. This goes over here. It's a good thing we didn't cement the fuse box. This is embarrassing. Will you look at that? There we go. Fantastic. We won't be needing this. Now it's time to connect the battery. Right, for some reason the butterfly valve is shut. That's probably a good thing on a cold motor. So we won't be able to pump any gas, we can't use the throttle. I guess we'll just pour some gas right in there. Okay, turn on the ignition. What do you see? Hang on. The oil pressure light is on. That's a good start. The clutch works. That's also nice. The throttle is jammed. Well, that makes sense. Go ahead. Come on, man, give it a try. It's working. We'll get this thing to start. It's already showing us something. Well, what do you know? Now this should make it much easier. Go for it, man. It's even turning over faster. We have spark, and you guys said that we wouldn't. It ain't happening. Okay, guys, so the car isn't starting off of a battery. It just keeps sneezing and that's it. I say we tow it using a rope. And try push starting it. We really don't have any other options. Let's do this. It's moving. Great. This is a lot after all. Let's get this show on the road. It seems to be working. It's running. We actually got it to start. Stop! It's actually running. Like clockwork. No vibration, no nothing. The question is, how do we activate the throttle? It looks like this is the only way to go. It's gonna stall? You're right, it will stall. It's running, check that out. Our little car lives. It's actually running quite nicely. No smoke or anything. Why did we even cement this motor? How do we get it out of there now? Now we try... The throttle is obviously cemented. But we'll try anyway. Come on now. Please don't stall. How far can you go on idle? With so much weight at the front end. Taking off at idle. This really isn't easy. Come on, you're doing good so far. Come on now, let's keep going. Up a hill... It doesn't want to go uphill. The car is all stanced out. Yeah, the higher the hill, the lower the stance. Now let's try reverse. My foot is still involuntarily stabbing the throttle. I think we should look into... It stalled. That's the problem. When you switch the starter on, the ignition shuts off. We have a bad ignition switch. Come on, start. What's going on? It doesn't want to start in first gear. That'll get the oil pressure light on. It should be able to go downhill. This should work. Though how am I gonna flip around and go uphill? That's it. We stanced out the car and now it doesn't work. Without a working throttle, I can't set off properly. But if we make some sort of makeshift throttle, I'm sure we can even drive around a bit, with zero issues. For the time being, I'm just gonna shut the car off. There we go. Now it's time to grab a perforator and start drilling. Okay, so we've dug out the throttle and opened the butterfly valve. It ain't having it. Let's go. Why isn't it starting? Is it running? Nope. Alright, now we're talking. It's taking air in through one valve. We couldn't get the other one open. Well? Come on. Come on now. It really does feel like there's something missing here. The bumper is digging into the road. Really? I guess that's a wrap. Not enough throttle, eh? Not enough, yeah. Okay, what did you just press in there? What? You give it a bit of gas and it stalls. Right, okay. I guess that means we're done here. Awesome. Alright, fellas, this experiment has been a huge success. We were able to get the cemented motor to run. However, after we were able to fire up the engine, we were expecting for there to be a ton of vibration with the engine running, and for the car to shake and so on. But as a matter of fact, that wasn't the case. It was actually quite the contrary. The engine runs quietly with zero vibration. You literally can't hear it, although the temperature was obviously creeping up a bit. Plus, we didn't have a belt connected to the alternator and the water pump, but that's not the point. The point is that we couldn't hear it when it was running. Really, the only thing letting you know that the engine was running was the exhaust. But on the outside of the car or from inside the cabin, you couldn't hear a thing. This here is some quality sound deadening. But don't you go cementing your cars now. Anyway, the motor started up just fine. Meaning that we're looking at some positive results here. Right, that's all I have for you. So watch our videos, subscribe, leave us some comments and suggestions, and give us a big thumbs up. Alright, catch you later. It does start, but it doesn't drive. Oh, so you're just having fun. Of course, we're just out for a good time.